Hey YouTube, what's going on? How you guys doing today? This is your friend Siren Frost, and today I'm giving you guys an updated deck profile of my Grand Blue deck featuring Nightrose. And the last time I did this Nightrose deck, I think it's been a while since I did Nightrose. It was during the debut of its trial deck, and maybe a few little supports here and there just to give it a little bit of a boost and an edge. What this deck was lacking was the Nightrose support, which was Negorlazy, Negrobone. Well, I had Negrobone, but I just didn't have a complete set of Negorlazy, so he was a tough one to get. Believe me, guys, he's a really tough one to get. And there's another card in here that, you know, I was having a hard time getting because everyone else was playing Grand Blue, mainly 7Cs. But that is another deck profile for another time. And keep in mind, guys, I am not against 7Cs at all. Like, you know, I play the deck myself. I just haven't played it for a very long time because I was too busy with my Shadow Paladins and my Pale Moons. So I was trying to get those decks up and running again because I wanted, and also I was trying to do Angel Feather Gabriel. So of course it's going to be a little more difficult. But now this deck's finally completed the way I wanted it to be. Until the next set 8 is going to be featuring a lot more Nightrose support, which I'm of course very happy for. But for now, this is the best we can muster until that set comes out. But without any further ado, guys, let's get on the deck profile. So the main deck has only 50 cards as always. But first, my starting Vanguard is one copy of Undying departed Grenache. I've seen people play 2 or 3 of him in the deck, but I think one for me is just, it's all you need. Because it's a hollow based unit, and this deck's basically all hollowed. I guess you can say, oh my god, my eyes are starting to go wide. Fuck. Stupid Mega removal. Ow. Okay, I'm good. Anyways, what Grenache does, he's a forerunner, so you can call him to any rear guard that you choose to. And when he is placed on the rear guard circle, though, during Generation Break 1, he becomes hollowed. And at the end of the turn, that this unit goes back to a drop zone, you can countercharge 2 cards. So with Nightrose being Nightrose, she requires 1 Counterblast, but there are some units in here that actually allows you to do 1 Counterblast at a time. So there's some that do Counterblast 3 and all that bullshit, but we're not gonna go into that. But anyways, so I figure 1 copy of him wouldn't hurt in the slightest. So 1 of Grenache, or Grenache, whatever you want to call him. I call him Grenache just like giggles. Next for trigger lineup, we're playing 4 heals, 4 stands, and 8 crits. So for my heal triggers, we're playing 4 copies of the original heal trigger, Dr. Rouge. Now, I can easily play Charming Banshee if I wanted to, but this deck to me is for vampires, mainly vampires, and anybody who falls into Nightrose's pirate crew. So, and I love vampires mainly just because they're just more powerful than the other lichens or zombies and all that shit. But anyways, so I play 4 of Dr. Rouge because I feel like it's more appropriate for Nightrose than like the Ghosties or Banshee. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Mick the Ghostie and family. I think this trigger is now officially a must in some Grand Blue decks because when he is called back when he's placed in a regard circle from the drop zone, he becomes hollowed. And once he becomes hollowed, you can give any of your units on your Vanguard, Rearguard, 10,000 power. And at the end of the turn this unit is put into a drop zone, you can put him back in your deck and reshuffle. So you can keep cycling him in and out over and over again. And the best part is, on him, when it comes to King Boo, or King Obadiah, aka King Boo, you can just call him out with the strides with his own personal skill. So I think that adds a bit more pressure to the deck. And I'm starting to convert most of my decks into 4 stand triggers, 8 crits, and 4 heals. Which I think is very weird for me because that's just not the playstyle I prefer. But it's hell, right? Next, we're playing 4 copies of Assault Commander Carignan and 4 copies of the alternate version of Rough Seas Banshee. Now, everyone was laughing at me because I fucked up her effect. I thought she was a Margot clone, but it turns out she was a Psychic Bird clone. So, I am sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I now know what Banshee does. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Witch Doctor of Powder Bone Negrobone. Not not the other word. I should say this slowly. Negrobone. Negro. Not Negro, but Negro. Ne or Ni, whatever the hell you want to call it. Negrobone. And I know so many people will say those, when it comes to saying these kinds of words, they're thinking like, did you just call the N-word? No, that's not racist. That is very racist, and I'm not racist. I did say some shit before, but that was a long time ago. But anyways, Negrobone's ability is Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted, you can, as long as your Vanguard has Nightrose in its name, retire that boosted unit and Superior Call another unit from the drop zone. So this grants you like an extra multiple attack, especially if most of your units are hollow based, like Negrorook or Negorlazy or Skeleton Cannoneer, whatever you prefer the most. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Tommy the Ghostie. Stride Nibblers are completely a must now in some decks, just to get the extra stride feel to it. And what he does is basically search out for Nightrose and counts as a grade 3 stride. So that's all his purpose is. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Rumble Banshee. She's to me, she's another hollow unit, and her Generation Break 1 is from the drop zone, you Counterblast 1, and you can retire one of your rear guards to Superior Call her back to the field. And then during that, she becomes hollowed. So, and then when she gets this ability, when she is called to the rear guard due to her own ability, add 2,000 power to this unit. And at the end of the turn that this unit was sent to a drop zone, you can countercharge 1 free card. So that just adds, more countercharging. And so now we got Grenache and Banshee and Negrolazy to do countercharging. So you can still recycle your damage zone basically just to nothing. Finally, we're playing 4 of the new G Perfect guards, Tornado Djinn, aka Waterspout Djinn, or the other way around. I prefer Tornado Djinn just because it's more appropriate for this guy. For a sexy demon. Next, for grade 2, we're playing 4 copies of Witch Doctor of Languor Negorlazy. As he's another grade 2 Nightrose supporter. His skill is, when he's placed in the rear guard circle, he becomes hollowed. And when he's hollowed, you Counter Blast 1 and you Soul Blast 1. You choose 1 card out of your drop zone that is grade 2 or less and Superior Call it to the field. And if you do, add 2,000 power to Negrolazy. At the end of the turn, when this unit is sent to a drop zone, you Countercharge 1 and you Soul Charge 1. And that's what we kind of want. A Countercharging and a Soul Charge because Negrolazy Soul Blasts. So mainly just for soul charge or countercharging. That's all we need. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Witch Doctor of Rotten Seas, Negrorook. Yeah, Negrorook. And he's a generic from the trial deck, and I think a personal favorite now of mine too, because there's plenty of Witch Doctors in the world, but this one's coming from the seas. Come on now, you need one from the seas. Anyways, when he attacks a Vanguard, Generation Break 1, he gets 2,000 power, so he'd be 11k attacker. But if he's hollowed, he gets additional 5,000 power for that turn. So he gets this additional 7k boost, making him a 16k attacker, plus a 7,000 boost extra from the back row. So that, to me, is a sick combo, and it adds a little bit more pressure to your opponent. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Skeleton Cannoneer. When he's placed in a rear guard circle, he becomes hollowed. And when he becomes hollowed, his skill activates. You Counterblast 1, and you retire one of your Counterblast 1. So this is where countercharging comes in quite handy. Anyways, his skill is, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire them. And if you do, draw 1 free card. So these kind of help you draw more cards in your hand for extra guard, or just a good hand size. So, that's very good. Not complaining there. And next, for grade 3, we're playing the main lady herself, 4 copies of Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose. Her stride skill is, she can Superior Call any unit from the drop zone and add 2,000 power. Plus with 1, as long as the counterblast, at a cost of 1 counterblast. Generation Break 2, however, I never use her Generation Break 2, that's the funny part. But her Generation Break 2 skill is an auto skill, 1 turn only. You can the cost is put 3 cards from put the top 3 cards of your deck to your drop zone. When your rear guard is put into your drop zone, you may hit the calls. If you do, call that card to rear guard. So, even if it was a hollow unit, you can still call it back for Nightrose's skill. But we hardly ever use that skill anyways because the match will be over before you even get to use that ability. So, Nightrose is just in here for her strike power and her luscious vampiric beauty, which my decks were basically about. It's about beauty and self-hating. Anyways, next for my final grade 3s, we're playing 4 copies of Ghoul Dragon Ghost Dragon. And his skill is pitch out, ditch the top 2 cards of your deck and put them to the drop zone. When his unit attacks a Vanguard, he gets plus 3,000 power. And if he's hollowed, add additional 5,000 power. So he'd be a 19k attacker all by himself. Plus the 7k booster or 6k booster, that'd be 25 or... shit. It'd be a 26,000 booster right there. So, again, add more pressure, which what we kind of want in this deck. Okay, so that was the main deck. Now for my G zones, we're playing the main boss unit, Miss Phantasm, Pirate King, Nightrose, so 4 of her. I've seen people play only 2 of her, but I think it's more appropriate to play 4 of her at once, just because it is her deck. And the one thing that is good about her is you don't need to have a hard card with Nightrose in his name. This goes for any deck, including the 7 Seas. And her skill is when she attacks a Vanguard, Counterblast 2 and flip a copy of Nightrose face up in the G zone. And you can superior call up to 2 units from the drop zone and call them separate rear guards in different rows. But that's the thing though, guys. The one thing I need to say about this before I go any further, I asked some people, people say I was doing the wrong thing by putting both two of the monsters in the same column. But the thing is, guys, there is such a thing as a front row and a back row. So technically, I didn't do the wrong thing. It's just they're in the same column, but they're in different rows. That is very true. But that's one thing you guys kind of, some people fail to realize, is that it doesn't have to be in a column, or it can still be in the front row and the back row. And that's why it's called rows for a reason. Rows being the key word here. And I think people are being such dickheads about that because they kind of want the automatic win right there. I think it's kind of unfair. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Demon Sea Queen Maread. I like her artwork the most, and she's a vampire as well. And her skill is you Counterblast 1, you flip a card face up in your G zone, turn it face up. And for every Demon Sea Queen you have face up in your G zone, you can superior call that many units to a sum of grade 4 or less. And also, you can also transfer, and also, those units' power are automatically transferred to Maread. So, if you summoned out an 11k attacker and a 9k attacker, that would probably automatically give her like a 20,000 boost right there. So, and she's already at 26, so it's like a 46,000 power by herself. But, correct me if I'm wrong about that, guys. I'm just barely started using her, and I think she's a pretty good card. I have faith in it, so let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Bluehearts. I was going for, I was thinking about going to Bandit Rum, but I think Blueheart's a little bit better. You Counterblast 1, and you choose up to 2 units from your drop zone and superior column to separate rear guards. But as long as those columns have to have units up behind them or in front of them. So that's why he's in here. I think I may change him out for the newer stuff once the stuff comes out in set 8, but for now, this is the best we can do. Next, we're playing 2 of the Ghostie Great King Obadiah, aka King Boo. What he does, he's placed in a Vanguard circle. You can choose up to 3 units with a hollow ability, place them in your drop zone, and after that's over and done with, you superior call 1 Ghostie unit from your drop zone and place it right behind him in his column. So, and that's where the stand trigger comes in. If that unit becomes hollow, you can give 10,000 power to King Boo. So, that's why we have him in here, to gain more power and fuel your drop zone, fuel your graveyard a little bit more. Next, we're playing 4G Guardians, Eclipse, Dragonhulk, Deep Corpse Dragon. He's just in here temporarily until the new stuff comes out from set 8. But what he does is you place the top 2 cards your deck to your drop zone, and add 5,000 power to its shield. So he'd be a 20,000 defender. Like with Nightrose, that's like 31,000 shields. But unless, of course, so many people can try to find OP ways to, make it overwhelming. But for now, that's the best we can do. Anyways, guys, that is the completed deck profile of my Nightrose Stride, and I hope you guys enjoy it. As always, guys, there'll be a full deck list down at the bottom. Please go check that out. I mean, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this variant build, and see if it's a little bit better than the last improvement. And that's all I gotta say for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys' support. And please be sure to subscribe, like this video, thumbs up for it, and leave a comment down below. Just rate it, and do me a favor, guys. Check out my other deck profiles and my other videos. They're not all bad. And get to know me a little bit better. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next videos. I'm Siren Frost, saying out. Bye!